now we move on to match number 2 with my guy Y2J, Chris Jericho versus the legendary 16-time world champion Ric Flair.
Woo! Yeah. Waiting all day to do that. You know what was weird before we get into it? You know what was weird is it's not exact, but it's close. Jericho now, I believe, is the same age as Flair was then.
Yeah, he was. I wrote it down. He was 52 years old. So Jericho's probably pretty close.
That's weird. Yeah. And Flair obviously just had his 15th retirement match. Whether he stays retired or not, but
he's like 73. He's 73, yeah. So
I mean, even back then, did we think that we'd see Ric Flair wrestling for another 20 years? And will we see Chris Jericho wrestle for another 20 years?
I don't know, man. He's done it for so long, but I mean, so did Flair. So I don't know. I mean, I think as long as he can keep finding ways to reinvent himself and keep it fresh and fun, and his body holds up, I mean, that guy is, all things considered, given his career, not had that many injuries. He's never been out for, like a torn quad or a broken neck or anything like that. I mean, he's done very well, with keeping himself together. So,
but that's a good point too, though, because about keeping it fresh and everything. And arguably, Ric Flair is one of the greatest of all time. However, his act really didn't change a whole lot, especially over the last 30 years.
No, he was always Ric Flair. Jericho, right. Every couple of years, will become just an entirely different version of himself. And he got
with
better.
a big move set.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he'll change up the moves and everything. Right. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. So I was a fan of this rivalry. I wasn't at the time a big fan of Ric Flair. I was still new to watching wrestling. I just didn't really get what the big deal was about him and everything. But one of the things I loved was in the lead up to this, Jericho's band Fozzy played live on Monday Night Raw. And I was already a fan of Jericho. And then when I had found out that he had a band, I went out, I got the CD right away, and I just thought it was hysterical, because I've listened to Fozzy, and to me it just sounds like him when he's cutting he sounds like he's cutting a promo. I mean, it's just, if you've ever heard him yell at somebody and call him a stupid idiot in the ring, that's the same voice he sings with. It's just him yelling, but I've been to a Fozzy concert, and I will say it was a good show. I mean, it was good and was fun, and you can tell he really likes to perform. They're not the greatest band in the world to me or anything, but they're not necessarily in my style of music either. But it was fun to see Chris Jericho going up there and rock out with a band, though. So and it was a relatively small place, so.
I give him credit for doing it. I give him credit for obviously attaining a certain level of success doing it. Not my type of music, but I could appreciate the talent that he has.
Yeah. So part of why I bring it up is, yes, they play it on Raw, but then Ric Flair comes out at the end of the song and he trashes the set. I mean, like all of the instruments, the amps, everything, and those were all legit. I mean, they couldn't have played what they did without those things being, and he smashed those guitars and destroyed everything, and he put holes in the amps, and I mean, he's like jumping up and down on the guitars and stuff. It was pretty funny, and that was when when Flair started winning me over, because it was really, he seemed like a silly old guy to me. So
his 16 title reigns or 21 title reigns didn't do it for you. His legendary career didn't do it for you.
I really didn't know a lot about. I mean, I knew that he was the 16-time champion and everything, but I was literally about a year into watching wrestling at this point, and Flair had just, when he first came in was doing the brand split, or the sharing the company with Vince. So he wasn't wrestling then, it's like this was like he's just starting to wrestle again around this time. So I'm like just starting to see him in the ring and appreciate what he does in there. You know, it was just, I was new.
All right.
One thing I've noticed that's always been another problem I've had with this particular era, and I've most notably with Flair, is they don't have the rights to the 2001 Space Odyssey song that he comes out to as his signature entrance music. So when you watch these old pay-per-views, they dub over it this song, and the song that they use is just terrible. It's just bad. I mean, it's like, give them anything but, you know, that basically.
Yes.
It drives me nuts every time. I can tell there's certain songs that they didn't have licensing to, because I remember, you know, there being like a very specific band that played, you know, somebody's entrance theme or something like that, but they don't have the long-term licensing for it, so they have to dub over some generic stuff, and it's just, I can't stand it. This was Ric Flair's first appearance at SummerSlam. He had never wrestled.
That surprised me. I would have thought back in the day, when he was around the first time.
Now, all things considered, I thought Flair looked like he was in pretty good shape for this one.
He looked about what he usually does. Yeah. I mean, he was never
for 52. I mean, you know, he had abs. You know, I mean, you know, he had a little loose skin, but I mean, you know, other than that, he was in pretty damn good shape, and so was Jericho, for that matter.
Oh yeah, but Jericho was like 32 at the time.
No, but this is Jericho, you know. But I'm painting the picture. I mean, like at the time, we're looking at like a young buck here, man. I mean, like, he is ready to go. We have none other than Charles Robinson.
Little Nate, of course.
Little Nate is officiating this contest. Jericho, they mentioned a fun fact that Jericho was 2 years old when Flair had his first professional match.
Wow.
So that is the age discrepancy between the two of these. So when they get into the match, and Flair just basically chops the hell out of Chris Jericho for the entire match. I mean, he might have hit him with like a couple other moves, but other than that, I mean, they were Ric Flair chops. I mean, they were cracking every time he hit him. But man, Jericho must have taken like 50 chops in that match.
Yeah, and ordinarily I would say like that was boring and he just did the same. But for some reason, it worked for me, because it could be part of the psychology that Flair just wanted to beat the hell out of Jericho's chest, knock him, you know, take the wind out of him, bruise him up.
Well, I don't know that you've ever taken a chop before, but
I did from a late wrestler who we shall not name.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, but it not only can sting and you know, leave a nice big red mark, but it does knock the air out of you, you know, if it's hitting the right spot. So I mean, to be just sitting in the corner and him target your chest and just keep one after another, and it was like, you know, then he like Irish whip him into the corner and then go over there and then just do it again in the other corner, you know. I mean, it was just, you know, an easy match to work, you know, don't have to think about much.
But it really did seem like the plan, and not just like Flair has a limited moveset. It seemed like, you know, like they always do.
No, because he is capable of
a body part.
Yeah. It's not like he doesn't know what he's doing by any means. I mean, he is Ric Flair, you know, but no, it was intentional. But I just know from having, you know, taken some chops before that, you know, a few are fine, you know, you'll live. But if Ric Flair slapping the shit out of your chest for the entire, you know,
10 minutes and 22 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Well, when it was said and done, Flair, in classic Ric Flair fashion, dirtiest player in the game, hits a low blow on poor Y2J at the end of the match and is able to secure the victory. So
with the figure four.
With the figure four, yeah.
I love the figure four, and it is legitimately can break your leg.
Oh yeah, it is a legit hold. Yeah, I mean, if you've ever been in it, it would take very little, really, to just lock that in and, you know, snap someone's leg easily.
Yes.